Great. Then let's talk a little bit about that reporting timeline. Now, um, there's a number of different registration types. There's different timelines, there's different components there. So what I've seen online is a lot of people trying to visualize that in some way, and I found this one done by Boston Consulting Group, Timo, and pretty good. There's different ways of looking at it, but what stands out to you looking at those timelines here? Is there anything in particular that surprised you, or that you feel that people really need to be aware of?
So I'll say two things. One, I think it presents a nice sort of illustration of a couple different phenomena here. The first is how staggered they are within each of these different groups. So, there's a little bit of a delay between some of the more quantified Reg SK, so, non-financial statement, but Reg SK disclosures. You get an extra year on those. I'm also kind of struck by how far out some of the timeline goes. When you look at the reasonable assurance attestation requirements, you're all the way to, fiscal year 2033 filed in 2034. So everyone mark your calendars for that. Be sure to be paying attention to that in a decade from now. The other thing I would say, though, is this doesn't tell the whole story because it looks like a lot of things are in the future. There's some really important stuff that needs to be happening in short order. So one that I'll call out is that the Reg SX disclosures, now these are the disclosures that go in your financial statement, the sort of climate-related footnote, where you need to quantify expenditures and capitalize costs related to severe weather events and other natural conditions. Those kick in the first wave for large accelerated filers, such that you will be reporting fiscal year 2025 data in your 10K for 2026. If you kind of play that through, that means that you need to have controls and procedures and accounting policies to really calculate this information and assess these different incidents starting from January 1st, 2025. That's why it's an important rule to kind of take seriously and take action now, even if it feels like a lot of these disclosures are way out there on the timeline.
Oh, thanks for that insight, because if you look at it at first glance, it looks like a very generous runway. The moment you see, 2030 plus, you're like, oh, we got plenty of time. But to your point, it's really important to realize that a lot of these things take time to do, to develop, to put systems, to put resources in place, to skill up people, especially if you haven't done much in this space yet, there's a lot of work to be done to get ready to make the disclosure. So I think it's the most important message about the timeline is, yes, it's phased. Yes, there's some things that look like they're pretty generous in terms of getting there, but in reality, you'll have to start, relatively soon to get your house in order.
Absolutely.